Hi everyone, how are you all? So, next electron displacement we are discussing. So, we had seen the two electron displacement, that is inductive effect. How electron displacement takes place based on the inductive effect we had seen. In case of inductive effect, only the sigma electrons are involved in delocalization. Displacement will be involved towards the more electronegative atom. In case of mesomeric effect, both n electrons and pi bonding electrons will be involved in the delocalization, that is displacement towards the more electronegative atoms. Okay, and after that, third effect, that is third electron displacement effect, that is hyperconjugation. So it is most important, which is a small one but which is very important one. So this hyperconjugation is also said to be no bond resonance. In the honor of the scientist, it is also said to be Baker and Nathan effect. So it is also said to be Baker-Nathan effect, and also it is said to be no bond resonance. Why it is called no bond resonance? I am going to explain now. So what is meant by hyperconjugation? So what type of electrons are involved in here? So those all we are going to see. So before going to that, if you till now, if you not subscribed, please do subscribe and like the video. So let's get into the video of hyperconjugation. So now here, hyperconjugation is nothing but the displacement of alpha carbon containing sigma electrons are involved in alpha carbon containing sigma electrons are involving in the delocalization. That is, they are participating in the resonance. So what type of compounds will participate in hyperconjugation in the sense? So you can take the carbocation and free radicals, and also the double bonded alkenes participate in hyperconjugation, and also you can take the water which are electron deficient. Okay, the double bonded carbon adjacent carbon, okay, that is benzene. So methyl benzene, alkyl benzene is also participate in hyperconjugation. So and also functional group adjacent carbon, you can take this is a functional group carbonyl carbon, adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. Alpha carbon containing hydrogens will involve in the delocalization. This is carbocation. So here it is carbo free radical, carbon free radicals. It is carbocation free radical. So it is carbocation. The carbocation adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. The free radical adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. The double bonded carbon adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. So now this carbon is called what? Alpha carbon. The alpha carbon containing sigma electron. That is, this is the alpha carbon. So this alpha carbon contains 3 sigma bonded hydrogen atoms. Okay. So CH double bond, CH2 here. These 3 sigma bonded hydrogen, that is what alpha carbon containing sigma bonded electrons are involving in the overlapping. They are involving in the resonance. So how they are involved in the resonance, we will see one by one. So here which type of overlapping it will be? Sigma and pi electrons. Okay na? And also sigma and empty p orbital of carbocation. Now you see in this case, we'll get into one by one example. Then you can get the clarity here. So first we will going to see the carbocation here. So in this carbocation, what happens here? This carbon will have the water 2 hydrogen atoms and one empty orbital, because it is a carbocation which is lost the electron. So for that reason only it is getting the positive charge. Now this is a alpha carbon. Alpha carbon contains 3 hydrogen atoms. Now this alpha carbon contains the 3 hydrogen atoms are there. Then what happens to stabilize? Here it is what? Empty p orbital. It is empty p orbital. Empty p orbital is involving in the overlapping with this sigma electrons. Because these sigma electrons, what happens? These sigma electrons are transferred here. So then what happens? This carbon is getting already this carbon has the water. This electron will be as it is, but this hydrogen electron is given to this carbon. So that is empty p orbital is somewhat it is neutralized. That is, the electron displacement is taking place. Which electron? Sigma electron. So by that what happens? We are going to get, so here CH2 double bond, C here hydrogen, hydrogen. Now in this case what happens? So this hydrogen is losing the electron. So that hydrogen will not go anywhere because it is a more electron density one. Without any bond, it is participating in the resonance. That is what the sigma electrons are donated here. So this is what no bond resonance. Without bond, it is involving in the resonance. And also, it is first hydrogen is involved. So it is first hydrogen, second hydrogen, third hydrogen. It is first hydrogen involved. Now second hydrogen you can take here. So if the second hydrogen containing this sigma electrons are donated, so then what happens? CH2 double bond. So H here, this H plus, there is no bond at all. So it is called what? No bond resonance. So it is in case of third resonating structure. So that is CH2 double bond C H. Here what? One more H plus ion. In between these two, no bond. So no bond resonance takes place between the sigma electron and empty p orbital. This is in case of carbocation. If you are taking in free radicals, say for example, it is a free radical CH2CH3. So this is free radical adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. Carbocation adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. So double bonded carbon adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. And also you can take the whatever the functional group, carbonyl carbon adjacent carbon is called what? Alpha carbon. Alcohol carbon adjacent carbon, alcohol bonded carbon adjacent carbon is also called alpha carbon. So the alpha carbon containing at least one hydrogen, if it is there, means it will involve in the overlapping. And can it be involved here? So this is CH3 CH2 minus. Now this is what? Carbene anion. Will it participate in a hyperconjugation or not? We'll see. So will it participate or not? So if participate, so what type of conditions are required? So it is not participate in hyperconjugation. In which case carbene anion participate in hyperconjugation, that I will explain at the end of the video. So you till watch that one. Now here you see in case of free radical what happens here? In case of free radical, now you say here in carbocation, here how many alpha hydrogens are there? 3 alpha hydrogens are there. So 3 alpha hydrogens means how many resonating structures we are getting? We are getting 3 resonating structures. We should not include this one because it is not the no bond resonance here. So it is not involved in the resonance. It is no bond resonance only will comes under hyperconjugative resonating structures. More is the number of alpha hydrogen. More number of alpha hydrogen. More is the conjugation. More is the conjugation. More is the conjugation. So more is the stability. More is the stability. And also here what happens? More is the conjugation. That is nothing but what? More number of resonating structure. More number of resonating structure. More is the stability. So number of alpha hydrogen is equal to number of hyperconjugative structures. Is that clear? So don't say that here 4 alpha hydrogen, 4 conjugative structure. So we have to consider no bond resonance structures only comes under what? Hyperconjugative structures. Only 3 hyperconjugative structures are possible for the ethyl carbocation. I told you that. So this is the electron releasing group. According to plus I group, it is stabilized the carbocation. That is in case of inductive effect. At the time of inductive effect, we don't know this hyperconjugation. No? At that time, we had explained in that manner. So when compared to the inductive effect, this hyperconjugation is more dominates. Okay, na? So when compared to the mesomeric effect, also this hyperconjugation is more dominant. After that only mesomeric, after that inductive effect, least one. Is that clear? Now in case of free radicals here. So this carbon is what? A free radical in the sense this carbon has only one electron. Only one electron is there. So it is also electron deficient one. Then what happens? This alpha carbon containing hydrogens. The sigma electrons Which carbon it is? sp3 carbon containing sigma electron will involve in the what? Delocalization. Here what happens? It won't require the 2 electron, it required only 1 electron. That is what fish hood arrow we have to represent. So this hydrogen electron only will be involved here. So the carbon electron is not involved. So then what happens? We are going to get CH2. So here double bond. Okay, this electron and this hydrogen electron will form the what? Double bond here. So we are getting H, and here H radical. Okay, now so it is losing the electron. So it becomes what? Plus. Okay, now so that is what it involves in what? No bond resonance. Such type of no bond resonance, how many we will getting? We are getting total of 3. So in the same way, you can get the in alkyl benzenes also. In alkyl benzene also you will get the no bond resonance. You can take this is a alkyl benzene, methyl benzene. It is also called toluene. So now here this is a toluene. So which contains how many alpha hydrogens? 3 alpha hydrogens are there. So whenever this alpha carbon containing hydrogen is involved here resonance, so which increases the electron density at ortho and para. So that we had seen in mesomeric effect. So there mesomeric effect we had decided that this methyl group is plus I group, electron releasing group. So for that reason it increases electron density. But actually what happens? The sigma electron, here it is what? Sigma electrons, that is sp3 carbon of sigma electrons are overlapping with pi orbital. This is pi bonded orbital. These pi bonded orbitals are involving in the overlapping. So that effect is also called what? Here we are getting the what? Hyperconjugative structure. Total how many hyperconjugative structures we are going to get here? So no bond resonance. So here what it is no bond resonance. So like that this negative charge will be shifted like that. Again we will get. So like that we have 3 alpha hydrogens, 3 hyperconjugative structure. More is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is the stability, more is the number of resonating structure, more is the number of non-bonding resonance, then more is its stability. Is that clear? So next we are going to see the in case of alkenes. In case of alkenes what happens? In case of alkenes you can take here double bond, here CH3 is there, say for example. In this case what happens? Here hydrogen is there, hydrogen. Just simply what I am taking the propene, I am taking CH2 double bond CH3. So this carbon is called what? Alpha carbon. This alpha carbon what happens? This alpha carbon containing hydrogens are involving in the resonance. Whenever it involves here, whenever the sigma electrons are transferred, the pi bond is shifted onto this carbon. Now you see it will, what happens here? We are going to get CH2 minus CH double bond C. Here what happens? No bond resonance. H plus H. So it is what? No bond resonance. Now this negative charge is stabilized by this sp2 carbon. It is what? sp2 carbon which withdraw the electron from this. So again it will be stabilized. So that is what here the alkenes are stabilized by sp2 carbon should be adjacent to this CH2. Then only what happens? It is stabilized readily. Is that clear? So now we will see the applications. So based on this resonance hyperconjugation, we can explain the stability of carbocation, stability of free radicals, stability of alkenes, and also we can explain the bond length also. Okay, we'll see those examples. Yes, applications of hyperconjugation. In that first one is stability of carbocation. Simply, if you want to identify the stability of carbocation or stability of free radical, just follow always hyperconjugation. More is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is its stability. So one thing you need to remember. Okay na? So now you see here, is there any alpha carbon? No alpha carbon. But whereas here alpha carbons are there, just you identify alpha carbons. Alpha carbon, carbocation adjacent carbons are called what? Alpha carbons. Now here how many alpha hydrogens are there? 3 alpha hydrogens. Here how many? 3 plus 3, that is 6 alpha hydrogens. So here how many? 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 alpha hydrogens. More is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is the stability of carbocation. So that is what tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary than primary. After that methyl carbocation. Now you see here both are secondary carbocation, both are secondary carbocation, both are having same molecular formula. Then which one is more stable? Now this is carbocation, adjacent carbons are what? These two. So then what happened? Total number of alpha hydrogens are 4 alpha hydrogens. In this case what happens here? So 2 alpha hydrogens, here 3 alpha hydrogens, total 5 alpha hydrogens. More the number of alpha hydrogen, more is the stability. This is more stable when compared to that one. Is that clear? So that is based on the alpha hydrogen we have to decide. That is based on hyperconjugation. So like that more number of example you can solve. Stability of free radicals you can see. So which free radical? Adjacent. Free radical carbon, adjacent carbon is alpha carbon, alpha carbon. So more is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is the stability. That is what stability of free radicals. Next we are going to see the bond length here. So generally I am saying, so in between the carbon and carbon, if it is sigma bond is there, only single bond is there. So bond length will be 1.54 single bond. If it is double bond is there, so then what happens? 1.34 angstroms. If it is triple bond is there between carbon and carbon, the bond length is 1.20 angstroms. As number of bonds between the atom increases, bond length what happens? Decreases. That is, the number of bonds between the atom is nothing but what? Bond order. So as bond order increases, bond length what happens? Decreases. So this is the relation you need to remember. And also it is directly proportional to bond energy. It is directly proportional to bond energy. Bond order is directly proportional to bond energy. If you want to break the one bond, you need less amount of energy. If you want to break the two bond, you need more amount of energy. If you want to break 3 bonds, you need further more energy. Okay. So now you see here bond length. Among these two, which is having more bond length? Now you see here, this is a triple bonded carbon, sp carbon, adjacent carbon is called unsaturated carbon, adjacent carbon is called alpha carbon. Is there any alpha carbon? No alpha carbon. No resonance is involved. But whereas here resonance is involved, that is, this alpha hydrogens are involved in the resonance. Then what happens? So this pi bond is shifted onto this nitrogen, and we are going to get here. So CH, here H plus. So double bond we are getting because the bond is which is present here, that bond is shifted here. The double bond N minus. Now you see here the triple bond is converted to double bond. When triple bond is converted to double bond, bond order is decreased, then bond length what happens? Increases. Among these two, which is having more bond length? This one will have more bond length. That is, we can simply say that here the pi electrons are involving in the water resonance. Whenever they are involved in the resonance, the electron distribution is taking place. When the electron distribution is taking place, it gets the stability. Okay, na? So resonance is possible, then it is easily stabilized. And due to resonance, what happens? Triple bond becomes double bond. When triple bond becomes double bond, bond length increases. Bond order decreases, bond length increases. Is that clear? Among these two, bond length is more for this methyl cyanide when compared to hydrogen cyanide. Now in this case, you can take the CH2CN. Now in this case, is there any? This is what? Alpha carbon. So for this adjacent to unsaturated carbon, alpha carbon, here how many alpha hydrogens? 2 alpha hydrogens. Here 0 alpha hydrogens. No resonance at all here. But here resonance is possible. So for that reason it is having more bond length when compared to this molecule. Is that clear? So that is most important one you need to remember here. So next we are going to see the stability of alkenes, which is very, very important. We'll follow what a Saint-Jeph rule we can say. So in alkenes chemical properties we'll discuss there. According to Saint-Jeph rule, more substituted alkenes are more stable. That is, more number of substituents are present on the double bonded carbon, then it is more stable. That is, stability of alkenes and olefins was explained by Saint-Jeph rule. Okay na? So here we can explain based on the hyperconjugation also. Now you see in this case, how many alpha hydrogens, alpha carbons are there? 4 alpha carbons are attached. Because double bonded adjacent carbon, these two. This is double bonded carbon adjacent. Total 12 alpha hydrogens. Here how many? Alpha carbon, alpha carbon, alpha carbon. 3 alpha carbon with 3 alpha hydrogen. That is 9 alpha hydrogens. In this case, 2 alpha carbons. So that is 6 alpha hydrogens. In this case, only 1 alpha hydrogen. That is what? 3 alpha hydrogens. 1 alpha carbon. So 3 alpha hydrogens. Here 0. So what we can say here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1 is more stable than 2 is more stable than 3, after that 4, after that 5. Is that clear? More is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is its stability, because more number of resonating structures are possible for that carbon. Is that clear? So now among this compound is very very important here. 1, 2, 3. Now which is having more number of alpha hydrogen here? This is double bonded carbon. These two are what? Double bonded carbon. So this double bonded carbon is adjacent carbon, or what? These two are the adjacent carbon. This is alpha carbon, this is also alpha carbon. Is there any alpha carbon for this carbon? No. So here this carbon contains 2 hydrogens. This carbon is also contain 2 hydrogens. Total number of alpha hydrogens are 4 alpha hydrogens. In this case, these are the what? Double bonded carbon. This is double bonded adjacent carbon, alpha carbon. This is alpha carbon, this is also alpha carbon. So here 2 hydrogens, here 3, 5, here 2. So total how many? 5, 2, 7. 7 alpha hydrogens. Now in this case, this is double bonded carbon. So it is alpha carbon, it is also alpha carbon. Here 2 hydrogens, here 2 hydrogens. Here 3, 3, 6 hydrogens, alpha carbon, alpha carbon. So 6 alpha hydrogens, 2 plus 2. That is total 10 alpha hydrogens. Is that clear? Which is more stable? More is the number of alpha hydrogen, more is the number of hyperconjugative structure, more is its stability. Is that clear? Now most important, so that is, now we have the what? This you can take here, double bond CH3, CH3, H. Now after that one more is there. So here what? I am taking a trans compound. So it is a trans. It is trans to butene. Trans to butene. It is what? Isobutene. It is isobutene. It is trans to butene. Now next I am taking cis to butene. Next I am taking cis to butene. Among these, which is more stable? It is what? Cis to butene. Cis to butene. All are having same molecular formula. So, but different molecule. Which is more stable here? This one is more stable, this one. So, what is the reason? All are having the what? 6 alpha hydrogen. 6 alpha hydrogen. Here also 6 alpha hydrogen. Which is more stable? Now, I will come to this one next. First, you compare these two. Now, here trans is there, cis is there. Now, you imagine here 2 bulkier group, 2 CH3 groups are on same side of the double bond. Double bond, how it will be? It is like this, perpendicular to. This is sigma bond, means to this sigma bond, pi bond is perpendicular to another. So to this sigma bond, pi bond is always perpendicular. Now these two are the what? Methyl groups. Say for example, these two are the methyl group. These two are bulkier groups. They are having more repulsions. So cis to butene is always unstable. Cis compounds are unstable when compared to the trans. So do remember that when both are having the same molecular formula, same number of alpha hydrogen, then trans is always stable than the cis compound. Okay na? So that is most important. After that, now you compare among these two. Which is more stable here? Now this is a sp2 carbon. The sp2 carbon, which is a double bonded carbon with on the same carbon, if 2 alkyl groups are substituted in any compound in alkenes, so 2 alpha carbons are substituted on the same carbon, then its stability is more when compared to the what? The 2 alkyl groups present on the each double bonded carbon. Now why it will be more, you see here. In this case what happens? In this case, now you see in this case, here hydrogen is there, hydrogen, double bond C. In this case, it loses the what sigma electron, so it gets the what positive charge. So double bond, this bond is shifted here. So then what happens? It gets the negative charge. It gets the negative charge, and we are getting here what CH3 is there. And in this case, what happens? This negative charge here. This negative charge is what more stable. What happens? Here we are getting the what CH2. This I am writing here. You are getting confusion there. Here CH2 minus C. Here what happens? Double bond CH2 and H plus is there, and CH3 is there. Now this carbene anion is what? It is directly binded to this double bonded carbon. So it is this negative charge is readily stabilized by this sp2 carbon. Sorry, here it is what happens. So this carbon is getting a more number of bonds, 4 bonds. Okay, this one is readily stabilized. But whereas if you are taking this one, this molecule, in this case what happens? You can take the C double bond. Here this hydrogen. Now one of the hydrogen is lost, no? So one of the hydrogen is coming here. Then this carbon gets the negative charge. Then what happens? Here CH3 C, already one hydrogen is there for that carbon. It is getting the negative charge. So C double bond CH2 and H plus. Here CH3 is there. Now you see here this CH carbon, it is negative charge carbon which is attached with electron releasing group. So then what happens? It is destabilized. It is what happens? It is destabilized. Is that clear, everyone? So it is destabilized when compared to this one, because here the CH2 minus carbon is not having any electron releasing group. So for that reason, isobutene is always more stable than trans after that cis. Is that clear? Most important one. Is that clear? So next we are going to see the, here just now I told you that, so carbene anion, will it carbene anion, in the initially I told you carbene anion, will it show hyperconjugation? Now this is carbene anion, CH2 minus. So here 3 alpha hydrogens are there. Carbene anion in the sense what? Here 2 pair of, one pair of electron is there. So whenever the pair of electrons are there, so it cannot accept the electron because it is already, it is an what? Electron rich species. It is what? Electron rich molecule. So it cannot accept. So for that reason, carbene anions will not participate in hyperconjugation. But whereas if the carbene anion alpha carbon containing one, if it is attached with negative, that is more when compared to the carbon, the bonded atoms are more electronegative, then what happens? It may be possibility is there. So it may involve in what? No bond resonance. So how it will be? This negative charge will shift here. This negative charge is taken by this chlorine. So then what happens? C double bond CH2. So here 2 chlorines. Here 1 chlorine with a negative charge, no bond at all. So this is one resonance. Another resonating structure will be what happens here? 2 chlorines, 1 chlorine with no bond resonance. So such type of 3 resonating structures we are getting. So it is stabilized by resonance. So it can be explained based on the hyperconjugation. So this is another resonating structure, no bond resonance of trichlorocarbene, carbene anion. Is that clear? So that is hyperconjugation. I hope so everyone has understood. So next we have 2 more effects are there. Last 2 electronic effect. These 2 are temporary effect. So till now inductive effect, mesomeric effect and hyperconjugation, those are permanent effect. Now electromeric effect and inductomeric effect are what? Temporary effect. So in presence of reagent only electron displacement takes place. Then such type of effects are said to be what? Temporary effects. Now there are mainly 2 types of effects are there. Electromeric effect and inductomeric effect. This electromeric effect, in case of electromeric effect, the displacement of pi electron takes place in presence of reagent. Either it may be electrophile or it may be nucleophile. In presence of this electrophile, in presence of this electrophile, what happens? The displacement of pi electrons are taking place. Now the pi electrons are shifted here. Then what happens? That electrophile preferably substitute here. Okay, na? Because whenever when the pi electron is shifted here, then only we are getting stable carbocation. That is what the secondary carbocation we are getting. So secondary, either it may be tertiary. If it is, if the electrophile is substituted on this carbon, then what happens? We are going to get primary carbocation. Okay, na? So that is, it depends on the water stability. So in presence of this electrophile, the displacement of pi electron, that is displacement of pi and n electron, comes under mesomeric effect. In presence of this attacking reagent, mesomeric effect will be increases, then it is called electromeric effect. Okay, na? In presence of reagent only, displacement of pi electron takes place. But whereas in case of mesomeric, without any reagent, the displacement of pi and n electron takes place. Now here also you can take this electrophile. What happens whenever the electrophile is attacking? Here the pi electrons are transferred towards the more electronegative atom. In this case, the pi electrons are transferring, so it is said to be what? Plus electromeric effect. Now in this case, the electrons are transferring towards the more electronegative atom. So in this case, it is said to be negative electromeric effect. Because the electrophile is attacking here, the pi electrons are transferring towards the more electronegative atom. In this case also, among carbon and nitrogen, which is having more electronegativity? Nitrogen. So that is, the displacement of pi electron takes place in presence of electrophile towards more electronegative atom. So these are called negative electromeric effect. So if the electrons are taking place, pi electrons are takes place in the formation of stable carbocation, so they are said to be what? Plus electromeric effect. Is that clear? Next, inductomeric effect. In presence of attacking reagent, if the inductive effect is increases, then it is said to be what? Inductomeric effect. Inductive effect in the sense, the displacement of sigma electron takes place. So in presence of attacking reagent, in presence of reagent only it takes place. Then it is said to be what? Inductomeric effect. Now you see, in presence of reagent, inductive effect what happens? Increases, then it is called inductomeric effect. Now you can say here base, that is nothing but what? OH minus ion. So here it is electron withdrawing group. Adjacent to this electron withdrawing carbon attached with electron withdrawing group, this carbon is said to be alpha carbon. Alpha carbon containing hydrogens are more acidic. These hydrogens are lost as H plus ion. That H plus OH minus is liberated as what? Water molecule. The hydrogen electron is also shifted onto this carbon. Then this carbon is getting the what? Negative charge. So that negative charge is what? It is a sigma electron. That sigma electron is transferred here. So then what happens? This pi electron is transferring here. Now the sigma electrons are involving in the delocalization. Then it is said to be inductomeric effect. These are not that much important. Just you have to remember electromeric and inductomeric effect are what? Temporary effect. So this is what? Complete electron displacement effect. We had seen the reaction mechanism. So what are the, in reaction mechanism, what are the steps involved? Mainly 3 steps now. So what are the 3 steps which are involved? So first step is breakage of covalent bond. Next is attacking reagents, whatever the attacking types of attacking reagents, electrophile, nucleophile, free radicals. After that, types of electron displacement we had seen. So we had completed reaction mechanism successfully. So if you want to watch the previous videos, you see in the description, you will find all the videos which I have made for the reaction mechanism. So you try to watch all those videos, then definitely you are going to improve your organic chemistry basic concepts. So by knowing this reaction mechanism, you can do more and more organic reactions can be easily understood. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.